icons. My name is Doug Fisher, editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine, and it's an honor and a privilege to be with these four former champions who really need no introduction, but I'm going to go ahead and say your names. Thomas Hearns, Buddy Mcgirt, James Toney, Zab Judah. I watched Thomas Hearns fight on TV as a kid. He's one of the fighters that made me a hardcore, lifelong boxing fan. I watched Buddy Mcgirt, loved watching Buddy Mcgirt in the late 80s and early 90s. And it really an honor and a privilege to have actually covered some of the fights of the great James Toney and Zab Judah. We have two Hall of Famers and two future Hall of Famers, and you guys cover generations. You cover several decades, starting with Thomas Hearns in the 70s all the way through the 2000s with James Toney and Zab Judah. So we're going to compare the past era with today's era, today's fights. But before we get into that, we're blessed with boxing royalty here. Thomas Hearns is our guest at this gym. And I just wanted to get from each of you, starting with you, Buddy, and then James and Zab, when's the first time you saw the Hitman on TV or in person?
1976, ABC Wide World of Sports, USA versus the world. It was an USA amateur team, and Tommy Hearns was fighting. And then about 5 months later, I'm at the Ohio State Fair, and I'm in the elevator, Tommy Hearns. I was like, damn, that was the guy I just saw on ABC. So I was only 12 years old, so I was, really excited.
You're a New York guy. What are you doing at the Ohio State Fair? Were you
Everybody
competing?
went to Ohio State Fair, yes. In Columbus, yes.
Is that for everybody here? You guys, you would take part in the Ohio State Fair? It was that big?
Yeah.
I used to live in Columbus, Ohio. I had no idea.
The
In the 70s, I was in Ohio. Yeah.
Back then, it was the biggest tournament in the world besides the Olympics.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
Everybody from
Everywhere they came there. Everybody came from everywhere.
So, Buddy, your kid, what, like 12 years
I was
old?
12 years old.
And you'd already known who Thomas Hearns was before he turned pro. You knew who Thomas Hearns was as an amateur.
Yes.
And then you see him in person.
Yes. It
What was
kind of
that like?
It freaked me out. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm glad I won that night. I said, this guy asked me if I won. I can't say no. I would have lied anyway and said, yeah, I won. Well, as a kid, you see someone on Wide World of Sports, man, that's like, and then a few months later you see him in person, and it's like, damn. You know what I mean? And he was dressed up like he is now. I'm like, must be a Detroit thing.
That is a Detroit thing. Believe me,
Always
it is.
fresh. Always fresh.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always fresh.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that.
Did it inspire you?
Yeah,
Did you think, okay, maybe I could fight on TV one day?
exactly. And then I started following him, and then I seen him fight Howard Weston on CBS, and he stopped him. You know what I mean? I was like, and Howard Weston's a friend of mine.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
And
damn.
a top 10 contender,
Yes.
too.
You know what I mean? And and then ever since that, I just started watching him and paying attention. And then he made me the happiest man in the world when he beat Pepino Cuevas, because my neighbors are all Latin where I live at. And Duran had just beat Ray Leonard, so everybody was like, "Yeah, buddy, yeah." But when he knocked out Pepino Cuevas, I ran outside screaming Tommy Hearns.
James, what about you?
Well, my first moment in boxing was on August 2nd, 1980, on when Tommy knocked out Pepino Cuevas in the second round, just totally destroyed him. And before he fought him, I was always a big Tommy Hearns fan. I used to watch his fights. And then after he beat Cuevas, and years went by, I finally met him. I became one with Jackie.
Right.
Jackie was his publicist.
Right.
Oh, damn, I mean, Tommy Hearns, this is my guy, man. I said, damn. And when I met him, I saw the Messiah, boy.
Right.
I do. I love
And you're a
that.
Michigan guy, too,
Yeah,
and he's out of
sure,
Detroit, so definitely.
So, man, I've been hooked ever since.
What about you, Zab?
Favorite fight of all time.
Still he's your favorite of all time? That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
What about you, Zab?
you guys are really making me feel good, man, because knowing you guys and knowing that I've been watching you guys for a lot of years and not knowing your true feelings about me, it feels good, man. It feels great, man. I appreciate it. And I just hope that I did enough to inspire you guys to do well in the boxing ring.
100%.
What about you? First time seeing the Hitman?
For me, I come from a boxing family. You know, my father, if you know my dad, that's all he do is watch fighting and boxing. So, you know, the screen was on. The Hagler, Hearns, all the fights. So we grew up studying them. You know, I think I met him a few times, but we really got close when the Mike Tyson Galata fight.
All right.
Tommy was the
He
promoter.
was the promoter.
I was the co-main event on the Tyson Galata fight, and Tommy was the promoter. So we got a chance to, you know, do business, and I got a chance to really kick it with him. Like, you know, we was in Detroit, and if you ever get to go to Detroit with Tommy, oh man, it's a whole another movie.
Did you notice how excited Mike Tyson was around Thomas?
100%. I mean, how could you not? This the man right here, the legend. No joke.
I was there.
Yeah,
I
and
covered
then
that.
years later, when I was going through my medical school, I lived in Detroit for 2.5 years, and I lived like close to Tommy. And I used to always do my jogging and run past his house and be like, yo, hey, that's Tommy house right there. I was like, yeah, that's my man right there. Yeah, but he has a lot of respect in Detroit,
Of course.
Michigan. Period.
I mean, I would say Thomas Hearns and Joe Louis, right?
Yeah,
That's high praise.
Sugar
100%.
Robinson.
Thomas, yeah, and Robinson went
let's
through
get
there.
this right.
Okay,
Robinson.
New York's got to claim him,
New
right?
York, we jacked him. We jacked him.
Learn
We
how to
jacked
fight
him.
in New York.
That's true. That's true.
Born in Detroit,
No,
learn
right.
how to fight in
We
New York.
jacked him. We jacked him.
Don't even fall for that bullshit. 'Cause you know what?
We jacked him.
Hey, he ain't going to New York until later on in his career.
Hey,
I won't argue with you because Buddy's right. He learned how to box in New York City, but he
Right.
always had that connection to Detroit
Excuse me?
and loved to go back to
Yeah.
Detroit, even as an
He
amateur.
went back to Detroit to get close. That was it.
Hold on. Let me finish.
No, he fought there.
Finish.
He fought there as an
No,
amateur
no,
and a pro, and very popular in Detroit.
He learned how to fight in Detroit, and he went to New York for the chain.
I heard he went to the
different on that
Brewster
one.
Center and got kicked out.
Yeah.
Who?
The
In the
Brewster
Bronx.
Center.
Yeah,
Then he wound up in Harlem.
right,
Yeah.
right. And then
And Harlem is damn straight in Michigan.
right,
Yeah.
right.
What?
Harlem is in New York, man. But I think I will say one thing.
Yes.
I'm at the Hall of Fame one year, and I'm standing next to Tommy. The year he got inducted. And I had, I don't know, maybe about 20 cognacs in me, and I'm looking at him. And I'm looking at his arms. I'm like, this guy can't be human, man. His damn arms go past his knees. I'm staring at him. I said, I hope you don't catch me staring at him. I said, this guy's a freak of nature. I was like, damn. I was like, there's no way in hell I'd have fought this guy
Why
with 40.
don't you build me up and stuff like that? Why don't you size me up?
The cognac was signing you, not me. It was the cognac. Cognac said, look at
I
him.
was in New York and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
So I looked at him and I was like, I'm saying to myself, how the hell does this guy make 147? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I you know how fighters say, oh man, I would have fought that guy. Hell no, I wouldn't have fought Tommy Hearns.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the answer is no.
Especially a boxer.
You know what I mean?
If boxing and distance is your thing, how do you get around that jab?
You
The
couldn't.
the best boxers of all time
Best jab.
couldn't outbox Thomas Hearns.
Yeah.
From Sugar Ray Leonard all the way up to Virgil Hill at 175 pounds. Guys known for the stick and move and jab. Nobody could ever get past that stick, that left stick.
The jab
We
was
set
a
up
whip.
everything else.
The jab was a whip.
Yes. Yeah, complete fighter. And you guys obviously looked up to him. And you just heard him say, well, thank you, and I hope I inspired you. Obviously, he did, along with his generation, because you guys sought out the best fighters of your generation. Whether you won or lost, you guys said, I want that guy. Zab wanted Floyd Mayweather. James Toney, you wanted Roy Jones Jr. You wanted Pernell Whitaker, buddy, right? You wanted to share the ring, and not just with the guy who was considered pound for pound number one, but whoever was around there, right? So you guys fought the best. Obviously, Tommy had the rivalry, the other, the four
He
kings.
Tommy fought everybody.
And everybody outside of the superstars. So nowadays, when you have a lot of talented kids, up-and-comers in a division, we like to say, oh, maybe they're going to be the next four kings.
Mm-hmm.
But do we really believe it's going to happen? And why isn't it happening? I'll start with you, buddy, because
I think
you're
that-
training these guys.
They're protected, man.
Okay.
It's sad to say, a lot of promoters can't get together and make these fights happen. I mean, back in the day, Don King and Bob Arum didn't like each other.
Right.
But if it's a fight that made sense,
They made money.
they made it happen. You know what I mean? Today,
Right.
it's not like that. Why? I don't know. But there's so many big fights out there that should be made right now.
So many.
I mean, but you got one, guys saying they don't want to do a 50-50, they want to do whatever, you know what I mean? And back in our era, you're like, yo, let's get it on and make a difference.
Sign a contract.
You wanted to sign the contract because obviously when the best fight the best, that's when the most money.
It's not even
It's on the
that.
table.
To me, it was just being able to say I was the best at that time.
Right. You wanted to fight Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah.
That never happened.
That never happened. No.
Right.
Don King told us to go to hell after I beat Simon Brown. He said no Chavez fight.
Right. So
Which was okay.
was there ever in your era, and also Tommy, when it was because of networks? Because now when you hear like big fights aren't happening, this is what you hear out there, okay, among hardcore fans. Well, he's on this side of the street, meaning ESPN, and he's on that side of the street, meaning Showtime, Fox, or he's on DAZN. And the thinking is that it's exclusive. If you're with a certain promoter, then that promoter has an exclusive alliance with a network or platform, and fighters don't jump back and forth.
I think that to answer that question, I think that it was more so of the trainer protecting their fighters and not putting them out there. But the little they know, the way they learn and get the experience that they need is to be out there fighting,
Right.
getting experience. And they kind of shelter them away from them because they wanted to protect them. You was not protecting, you was hurting them.
Right. You can't grow if you're not in with quality opposition.
You have to learn. It's the only way you do it. You got to learn. You got to
Yeah.
learn how to do it.
Off camera before this show, we were talking about James's career because somebody was asking me. It was Ellie Seckbach was asking me about some of these the young super middleweights fighting Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo's got almost 60 fights, right? I think it was David Benavidez, right? And I like David Benavidez. He's fun. He's an all-action big dude. But he's been a pro for 8 years, and he just fought. And that was his 24th pro bout. And I was thinking about you, James. Your record was 24-0, or 24-0-1 after 19 months, right? Like less than 2 years. So my point was, and they weren't all easy fights. Because I remember the year you fought Michael Nunn, and that was your first title shot. You were a big underdog. But you were ready. 21-1 under?
20-1.
20-1. Jeez. Okay. So people didn't know you were ready, all right? But you were ready because of that activity. You're fighting in 89 and 90. You're fighting 10 times a year. So you're ready.
I fought Michael Nunn May 10th.
Right.
I fought January 26th and March 31st.
Right.
I was ready.
Yeah, no, I remember. And I remember the fight in January that you kicked the year off was on ESPN, and it was against a fellow unbeaten prospect named Murky Sosa.
Yep.
Dominican from New York, right?
Yeah,
Tough as nails.
Next blockbuster middleweight.
Right, he was supposed. Yeah, he was the A side. He was the guy who had the upside supposedly.
Murky was the best knock-knee person I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. He fought knock knee. That's right.
His knees rubbed
Skinny,
together, man.
yeah, skinny knock knee, but he
was
could
the-
take an
and he was
incredible
southpaw.
punch, and he was strong.
He was left-handed. He was
Right.
the best knock-knee fighter I've ever seen fight.
James won a split decision, and I'm thinking,
It wasn't a split decision. I dropped him twice.
but I believe if you go to Box Rec, they say split decision.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
But I'm thinking, right. But I'm thinking the Michael Nunn's people are like, okay, he's unbeaten. He's ranked in the IBF now because I think it was for the USBA title. And you get this shot. But my point is, you're ready for that shot because you had a hard 12-rounder in January against Sosa, and you've been active. And I'm not seeing that these
But
days.
then I came back March 31st fought as a super middleweight.
Right.
I fought Alberto Scarface Gonzalez.
True.
He was doing 5, super middleweight.
Right.
Knocked him out in the 15th.
Right. And after you won the title, you came back in 30 days against Reggie Miller.
Reggie Johnson.
Sorry, Reggie Miller. That's a basketball player, isn't
Yeah.
it? Reggie Johnson. That's right, out of Texas.
Yep.
#1 contender. And that was nationally televised.
You know,
Not an easy fight. You touched canvas in that one.
Yeah.
But the point is you were ready to step up because of the activity and you're not being protected.
Nope.
So why are fighters being protected now? Is it because nobody wants to lose the O? Is
There
that
you go.
the all-important thing?
That's
That's
it.
the most important thing, and then it's scared. Everybody want to be an Instagram fighter or a Facebook fighter.
But let's agree on one thing. These boys, young boys, are making way more money than we did.
Right.
That's facts. And even the scale of pay today, you know, even with Mayweather, they've exerted $150 million for 36 minutes. Wait a minute, and then look at Canelo's contract, 268 something 8 million for one. I mean, for a contract. This is stuff that was in our time was never even heard of.
But you forgot the contract was ripped up because he wouldn't fight the people they wanted to fight.
But just for it to even exist,
Right, even
You
to
know
make
what
the
I mean?
offer,
for the shit to exist,
just to say it out loud.
Yeah, for you
hey,
to
we're gonna
even-
pay you this much. Like,
yeah, for you even
it's crazy,
have the
right?
opportunity to even
but see,
try
look,
to fulfill
but
that.
you-
That's
but you gotta look
we
at
ain't,
this.
come on, buddy. What if they told you,
But look at-
I'm gonna give you 260 fight, but you gotta fight 15 killers?
No, yeah.
What you
but-
just said?
260
But
what?
see, he wouldn't fight killers though.
268
But he
million.
wouldn't
I'll
fight killers.
fight every week.
Right,
But he
right.
wouldn't fight killers though.
But
But-
okay,
but-
killers according to this
but
scale
listen,
right now.
but-
How about that?
but
Killers
look,
according to
But
this
I'm gonna say
scale,
this.
Yeah.
right?
The
That's
Hearns,
according to this scale.
The Hearns, the Duran, Hagler, and the other guy, Benitez and Chewy Leonard,
Yeah.
this decade, we mess with them with the money. They made one. They still made one.
They opened the doors for us.
Yeah,
They still
absolutely.
made
They blew
They
it
opened
open.
the doors for us.
They
But
still
you know,
made
but the thing is if they were going to make that crazy money, the record money, which I remember hearing about and reading about when Sugar Ray fought Duran. Remember hearing 10 million. Never seeing that, like in the papers. Like, really? They making 10 million? And the same thing, Thomas. When it was Hearns and Leonard together, that's when I first started hearing about 8-figure purses. Thinking like, okay, but it was only reserved for the biggest fights, right? And these are closed circuit, and then later you would see it a couple weeks later on or maybe a week later on HBO, and then on regular terrestrial network television. And the thing is, the fights had to live up to the hype, right? Which they did, and that's very important. But I think what Zab's alluding to is these guys they don't have to fight the best to make crazy money. And so what I'm seeing, and let me just say this, I like a lot of these fighters out here. A lot of these guys, like the Charlo twins out of Texas, I love them. I love their style. I know they came up under Ronnie Shields, who's a great trainer. I know they know how to fight. I know they got heart. But I'm looking at their age. They're 30, right? And I follow them on Instagram, right? So you see their mansion and all these SUVs and trucks and cars, and it's like they're making a lot of money.
Eating.
And then I look at their records. Maybe each guy's got like 2 notable fighters, 2 fights out of like 30 fights, and they're 30 now, where maybe they could lose. It was like maybe a 50-50 type fight. And I'm thinking, well, that's got to be a factor. You're making a good living fighting guys you know you're going to beat.
Just like Canelo.
I think Canelo's challenging himself more than most guys.
And when was the last time a champion had a non-title fight?
They don't do it anymore because there's only once or twice a year, that gets back to it was Ellie asking me, well, who's going to beat Canelo? And I said, listen, nobody at 168. And I said, it's not because nobody has the ability to beat him. I think Benavidez and Caleb Plant, and Billy Joe Saunders, they could fight. Charlo, if Jermall wanted to step up to 168, but the problem is he's fighting. He's already got like close to 60 bouts because he turned pro in Mexico at 15.
Are you saying that they won't be because they're not going to challenge him?
No, I'm saying they're waiting around till they get that call.
They're not being active.
And then in the meantime, they're fighting once or twice a year, and the guy they're fighting isn't fit to be their sparring partner.
Right.
So how are you going to be ready?
Yeah, but if they're not training, they're not preparing themselves earlier, how you going to fight someone like that? Because then they'll be ready.
So here's another problem, right? Sometimes these guys get that opportunity. So what if they say, hey, Canelo says let's fight. When? 2 months from now. Oh, no. I need at least 15 weeks. They say that, right? Am I right, Zach? You read it, right? They say, no. I'll like, hey, 9 weeks is not enough time.
The rule we live by: when you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
There you go.
Stay ready at all times. You know what I mean? That's it.
How much time do you need to get ready?
Well,
Yeah. If you a fighter,
I'm so editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine. I got a lot of old Ring magazines. Even before I worked with Ring, I collected the magazines, all of them. And I remember reading, maybe it was going into the fight with Hagler, maybe going into the fight with Roberto Duran. But you were talking about your camp for the first fight with Leonard. Or maybe it was somebody else in your camp, and they were saying, you know, maybe Tommy was a little bit overtrained for that fight because we did 6 or 7 weeks, you know, and Tommy only needs 4 or 5 weeks. So for this camp, I don't remember which fight, but it was a super fight. They were saying in print,
And
give me a month, 4 weeks, and we're ready.
I think
Is that true?
It did happen. That happened. But you know what? Preparation is sometimes very difficult. Sometimes you overtrain, and then sometimes you undertrain. And both of them is bad. When you're undertrained, you're not ready.
Right.
When you overtrain, you're still not ready.
Right.
You were ready, and then you overtrain, and now you're not ready no more.
It's a fine line.
Yeah,
it's a fine line.
There's a line that you can't really.
Buddy,
do.
had you experienced being overtrained?
I'm sure.
for a fight?
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be honest now because I've been to camp 4 weeks. That 9-10 week shit was not happening. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make any sense.
They're saying 9-10
Yeah,
weeks
man.
ain't enough, buddy.
So,
They're saying,
hey man, listen.
they
I
say
took
12 to 15.
I took a fight against the #1 contender on 7 days' notice and beat him. They said, buddy, my manager says, kid, you know they paying us. How much they paying, man? He said 50,000. I said, I see you Sunday morning in the gym. the hell with the bullshit. I am not gonna turn up 50 grand. This is 1989. I'm not turning up 50,000 in 5-7 days. Hell no. And I won the fight.
And but it wasn't just the money, it was the opportunity, right? If you,
No,
you
man,
beat
listen. It still took me 2.5 years to get a title fight.
Yes, I know.
I saw 50. Listen, I was supposed to fight Gene Hatcher 5 weeks later
Right.
for 13,000. You giving me this guy 50,000? I told my manager we'll spar Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We spar every day. The weigh-in Saturday, fight Sunday. Bam, case closed. I went out the first round, hit the guy with a hard shot. He backed up. I said, I got him. But then the 8th round, he looked at me and I was getting a little tired. I said, too late, motherfucker. I made rounds in the bag, Jack. I'm gonna run for these next 2. But these guys today, you couldn't pay them. They wouldn't do that, man.
Zab, when you
See,
fought your rematch with Corey Spinks, traveled to his hometown, St. Louis, you took short money for that.
Yeah,
How much did you get paid?
100,000.
What was he
Get
getting
out.
paid?
I think 1.5.
Look at that disparity. But
So
you took
first
the fight.
The first fight, the
Yeah.
rematch. The first fight,
Very
I
close.
paid 1.2.
Hold up, man. Damn, that's not as bad as I thought. My shit was bad.
So when I took the fight for 100,000, you know, everything was stacked against me.
Yeah.
It was all stacked against me, but I was so confident because from the first round, I dropped him in the 12th round, one shot. Wow. And he went down. I said, "Oh, I can knock him out." And then I went at him, and the bell said it was over. So I was like, "Oh my God!" So I lived the rest of my 2 years of what if I had one more round? What if I had one more round? What if I had one more round? And then the rematch came, but they said under one condition. I said, "What? You gotta fight him in his hometown." So I don't care about that. So, oh yeah, and there ain't no money for this one. We got 100,000 for you. I said, I don't care about that.
Wow.
But and they looked at me like I was crazy. They said, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah."
I think you was a little crazy for that.
I mean, but I knew. But look, I knocked him out, Tommy.
Yeah,
Became undisputed welterweight
Undisputed.
champion of
So
the world.
It was the opportunity, and I knew what I knew. I said, "What? No, I got this." And I just, I mean, when I say I did everything, I dedicated my life to that fight at that particular time. I just
But you see,
shut myself off from the world.
Do you see what happens when you really dedicate yourself to it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Everything changes.
Oh.
When you dedicate yourself to what you're supposed to do, it just changed the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you see yourself being a totally different person.
100%.
And when you become a different person, people look at you and they say, what happened? What did he do? What did he do? What's he doing different? He prepared himself right. He got ready for the fight. And he went out there and showed the people how much he put in, work he put in. When you put work in, you get something out. You don't put nothing in, you don't get nothing out.
100%.
Is that one of your best performances?
I don't know. Could be at the top.
I mean, you
just-
go to the
it
Lions
was the
Den. Like, it's a
accomplishment.
difficult.
It was the
style.
accomplishment of what I had to go in and do. I went into the and at the time the number one thing was St. Louis was number one on the murder rate charts, and them boys was not happy with me. It wasn't happy with me in Brooklyn. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like the third day there, I had to send my tour bus back to Brooklyn and load it up. Like, come on, bring the homies, bring everybody. Like, you know, I needed that comfortable pillow around me. You know what I mean? It was crazy. I mean, I remember at nighttime when we used to run, they used to ride by in the car like, we gonna knock you fuck out, talk crazy to us and all that. You know, we just
You ran at night?
yeah. I couldn't run in the daytime. They really was gonna kill me in the daytime. I would have died.
Louis is
man.
rough.
Daytime,
St. Louis,
I was
yeah.
like, I had to run at nighttime. Yeah, it was nighttime. You know, everybody sleeping. We go out there and put it in. Yeah, you know what I mean. But you know what? I came up under the Duvas, and that's one thing Lou Duva always believed in. He always did with me was every time I fought, I went right back to training camp. I remember like I used to live in training camp. Like I would do my fights and go right back. Do my fights, go right back. So I came up with that kind of mentality for a while, and just stay in training camp, always be ready. You know, you never know. Like I even had some fights in my early career that I took on last minute notice. Big fights, we took it on last minute notice because it came available. You know what I'm saying? But I was ready. I was in camp with Pernell Whitaker, Arturo Gotti, Vernon Forrest, Fernando Vargas. I was.
And
going with
you're
top-notch
learning
guys.
from those guys that
Right.
talent as
Yeah.
well as those old heads like
Yeah.
Lou Duva
They didn't
and
play
Georgie
with me.
Benton.
They didn't
Right,
play with me.
right.
They wasn't there playing with me. They wasn't playing with me. Yeah, them guys, they was really trying to hurt me. Matter of fact, the first time me and Whitaker boxed, I thought he didn't like me. I said, I thought I came here to help you. Like, I came here to help you, and you just knocked wah. Like, you know, he was like, I got to find out who you are.
You guys, before we went on tape, you guys were talking about how the gyms have changed, and I think it was you, Zab. You said, well, they got rules now.
Yeah.
They got rules, and James has talked about this, just certain days for sparring,
Yeah.
and maybe even sort of an aversion to sparring. But you just mentioned it, like you guys, it was like, what's the saying? Iron sharpens iron?
Iron sharp as iron. You spar, good sparring whenever you can.
Every day.
We came up, my father used to put us, like we had this van, he used to put us in the van and say, come on, let's go, grab your sparring stuff. Maybe we like, where we going? Don't worry about it. Let's go. We pull up at some, you know, as kids, this is kind of frightening now. I think back, like I was kind of frightened, you know. Come on, let's go. We pull up at a gym that you never been before. You walk in the gym with a kid standing around, he looking at you, you looking at them, and he going, you know, my pops used to get happy over this. He'd be like, yeah, come on, let's go, glove up, glove up, glove up. And you like, glove up? Why? Who we boxing? I don't know. I don't know nobody. But that built character with us. It taught us that if you could go anywhere and spar anybody on the drop of a dime, you can do this and get busy with anybody.
James, you visited the house that Tommy Hearns built in Kronk Gym. And I'm sure you've got some sparring tales there, but also within that hot environment, you also had all these teachers, and not just Emmanuel Stewart. You had the old heads like Bill Miller, who become Smith,
Bill
right?
Miller, who became our trainer later
Right.
on in life.
Luther Burgess.
Damn, there's so many of them down there. So many great old heads.
Did you learn from them?
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yes.
Each and every one. But you know what? My goal wasn't on the Kronk because, like I said, I wasn't a Kronk fighter. I'm an outsider.
Right.
I had to go in and show everybody who was the boss, who was the real king of Detroit, besides Tommy.
But you know,
I did my thing.
James is right because whenever you walk into Kronk and you're not
Fresh meat.
you're not a Kronk fighter, the word get out fast. Fresh meat in the house, fresh meat.
Really?
I got him.
You had to earn your place.
Huh?
You had to earn your place.
Well, check it out. I took my place. Yeah, it's there. I came in the gym. He said, all you motherfuckers line up.
He did just
Name,
that.
who are some of the guys you sparred with?
Favorite winners, jermall, there's so many of them.
Right.
I never boxed with Michael one time. Yeah, but I have a great, it was a great atmosphere where everybody should be and know how to fight. We box every day, as many as you can. They don't do this today. They want them today. They'll be scared.
Buddy, what are some of the gyms that you would
For New York,
visit?
it's funny, I am from Long Island.
Right.
So I went to a gym in in Hoboken, New Jersey. And I walked in the gym, everybody got quiet and looked at me. I was like, oh shit.
Like a real fighter.
Yes, they were like, the trainer was like, go get dressed. So I mean, I didn't ask who I was sparring. When I came out, they were lined up. Like, come on, we're gonna kick your ass.
You don't know who they are. You don't know anything about them.
There's one guy that taught me a lesson. Two guys. One guy named, God bless, he got killed, named Davy Brown. He was a featherweight. And I was knocking people out with my left hook, and he was a featherweight. He said to me, come on, I'm gonna box you today. So I told the trainer, I said, look, this guy, he says, go in there. The guy put a quarter on the floor. He stepped on the quarter. He says, I want you to throw every punch you can at me. Guarantee you're not gonna hit me. And he goes, I'm not gonna step off this quarter. He kicked my ass. And then he would yell time and lift his foot up, and that was the quarter. I was like, shit. He would let me hit him with a jab. That was it. Right hand, left hook, wasn't happening. And he had his left hand here. He would just slip, and hit me. I was like, God, I thought I was surrounded, man. I was like,
You know what that was?
what?
That was a 25-cent ass whooping.
Hello? Yeah, he wound up getting killed in the streets later, man. He wound up getting killed, man. But, man, I was like, yo, this is what I was taking. I had to travel 3 hours to the gym.
Oh, damn. That's
Right? So
that's dedication, which you don't have to do.
I got a 3-hour ride home after getting my ass whooped by a guy 20 pounds lighter than me. Talking about I'll see you tomorrow. Be like, shit.
But 3 hours, you drove 3 hours to the gym. How did you get to the gym, though?
I used to take the train from Long Island to Manhattan, PATH train to Jersey City.
At night, somebody had to bring you back home.
Huh?
So at night, somebody brought you home.
No, I caught the train back home.
Same route. Wow.
For real?
Did that for 6 years, man.
Did he give you the
Okay.
quarter at least?
My parents would never let me do that.
Huh?
Okay.
No, my car wouldn't have made it. My car wouldn't have made it, man. My car, when I first turned pro, I was 18. You know what I mean? I had $100 Cutlass Supreme, man. So,
$100 company.
so I was in high school. So my teacher would let me out of class early, and I jump on the train and take the train, then take the PATH, then walk like a mile and a half to the gym, train, 3 hours back home.
What time you get home?
9 o'clock at night.
That's dedication. Bro.
That was the routine for
That's
6
see,
years.
for
but
6
see,
years.
But what I'm saying, you don't have dedication like that today for no fighter.
Guys
You're
complain
in
about
this,
driving 30
James,
minutes.
you're in this gym, and you're a trainer, okay, buddy, and you've had numerous gyms. The sparring situation that you just, I mean, all you guys talked about, does that happen, or when they're sparring set up, do they need to know exactly who it is?
Yep.
And
They don't know what size gloves they're wearing,
What brand?
what brand gloves they're wearing. I'm like, what the hell are you wearing? Don't get hit.
And how many rounds?
One thing was
Right.
different.
right.
My father always put us in with guys all the time, so we never knew what being over your head was. We sparred different people all the time. Like, what is that? What is over your head?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you spar anybody. Let's go.
Let him go. Go
Yeah.
ahead. And then after you put it in, you gotta do it.
You gotta shit or get off the pot. Then I went to Times Square gym in Manhattan. When I walked in there, everybody was like, Buddy Mcgirt, we want you. I was number one, but they didn't give a shit.
Food.
Right.
They're like, I'm like, hold up, man, I don't need that many rounds. My trainers just said, get ready, don't worry about it. Everybody was lined up, man. And I didn't ask no questions.
We were talking earlier about this era's fighters and needing a long time to get ready for a fight. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, buddy, because you see how guys get ready now. But it seems like there's less teaching and less learning, and it's more about conditioning. I see a lot, at least what fighters put out there, I see a lot of heavy ropes, I see like the ladder, you know, on the floor, and they're doing the coordination drills and dancing across there, and everybody's body looks
My
immaculate.
question to
Yeah.
guys is, tell me how that's going to make you a better fighter.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Right.
How you gonna improve? How you gonna improve your ability? What you doing to improve your ability? That stuff is gonna do it. Exercise does help you, but not no jumping. You know, I never had a really jump up at all when I was boxing. Jumping was not one of my things. I just didn't like. I ran. I would do my road work. I come out, I do my boxing in the gym. I hit the bag. I did all that, and that couldn't get me ready. I wasn't gonna be ready then.
That's a good point.
I mean, you know, and the sad part is, you know, a lot of the trainers today, they do whatever the fighters.
Say do that.
So the
Say-
fighter is the boss.
Yeah.
Fighter tells the trainer what
I
He
mean, how
or
many
she's
rounds am I
gonna do.
boxing? Listen,
But that
I'm
means
quite sure
that-
none of us ever asked, how many rounds am I boxing today?
Yeah.
You just walked in, got ready.
When you tell the trainer what you gonna do, you're
lost
gonna
it,
be
man.
around long. You ain't
be
learning. You
around.
ain't learning because you telling the man who's supposed to be teaching you what to do.
right,
You know more than he do.
You be
Right.
out there real fast.
right.
We never asked how many rounds, who we were sparring, nothing. Just got ready. And I ain't gonna lie, when I used to be looking around the gym, be like, who's gloved up? But everybody had on gloves. I'd be like, damn. And then one day I asked my
Wanna fight
trainer,
everybody.
I asked my trainer that, so why you put me in with these guys? He said, kid, if you couldn't fight, I won't put you in there with them.
There you
Let's go back to a subject that I kind of brought up when we were talking about. You guys actually put it out there that fighters are protected, and what is exactly they're protecting? It's not necessarily protection to keep them from getting beat up or whatever. It's just you don't want to lose. It's so important to be unbeaten. And I'll start with you, buddy, because I'm remembering, because you just got inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I've got a column called the mailbag where people email me their questions or whatever. And somebody had asked me, did I vote for you? And just so you know, I did.
thank you.
And they said, well, you know, I could see him getting in as a trainer, but as a fighter, who did he beat? And I'm like, you never heard of Simon Brown? Right? But what they're thinking is, well, you lost the fights to Pernell Whitaker, right? And I'm thinking, it's Pernell Whitaker. You didn't, I was at the first fight, by the way.
Right.
1993 in New York City. I was a student at Columbia. Just watching it, not scoring or anything, I thought it was very close. When the final bell rang, I'm thinking, and I didn't know you had a hurt shoulder or anything like that. I'm thinking, maybe it's a draw, you know? If it's 7 rounds to 5, you know, for Whitaker, that's fair.
Right.
But I'm saying, to me, that enhances your legacy. I don't care if there's an L or a draw
That's
or
the problem
whatever.
today.
Right. And the same thing, Zab with Mayweather. Zab gave Mayweather fits. That was a difficult fight.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you can't hold any, you know. All of you guys have losses that I think help define your legacies.
I had a guy,
what's happened?
Hit me up on Instagram because, you know, you talk all the shit you lost to Pernell Whitaker. Okay? And?
Pernell Whitaker. Do you know
I
who
lost
that
to
is?
Pernell. I didn't
Right.
lose to, you know, the guy working at McDonald's. I lost to Pernell, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
Right.
nothing to be ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but today in boxing, I did a radio show, and I told the guy, look up Charlie Burley. And the guy said to me, well, buddy, you know, he got losses. So what?
No fight.
Who did he lose to?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
I'm like, Charlie
And also
Burley,
look how often he fought.
and he
had
never
like
got a
100
title
fights.
fight.
Right.
I said, you want to see a great fighter? Look at Charlie Burley. And you know what? The guy was like, oh, man, he got losses on his record. I said, well,
I
you
think
guys,
that's the wrong attitude.
you guys got brainwashed.
That's
Man.
how it is today, society. Today's society is like that.
When do you think that came around? Because I don't think that was the mentality when Thomas was fighting.
He came out,
And I don't think it was a mentality in the
No.
80s or
The
even.
80s, no.
came out in 2010, 2012, around that time.
I think before that even. Maybe with the 2000s. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, even before Floyd was making a big deal out of it, and I don't think it necessarily came from Roy Jones Jr., but I think the network, HBO, it's like, well, whoever we're going to have as our flagship fighter, right? We're going to say we got the best fighter in the world. And for a long time, it was Roy Jones.
People say,
And even when he lost, when he had a DQ to Montel Griffin, they would kind of say, well, it was a DQ and it shouldn't have been and it shouldn't be a loss. And they would even put that in the announcement when Michael Buffer would announce it, give the wins and say, one disqualification loss, which he avenged. They would actually say that during the announcement to say, no, really think of him as undefeated, even though he does have that one. And I'm thinking, who cares? Montel Griffin was an Olympian, 1992 Olympian. He could box.
Yeah.
He was trained by Eddie Futch.
He was winning the fight.
He was. I thought he was
winning
doing.
the
I thought
fight.
he was doing fine. Now listen, Roy came back and took his head off because Roy's awesome.
That's who, Roy Jones, sorry, Eddie Futch, Georgie Benton gave me the formula to beat Roy Jones with Tarver.
Right, and you trained Antonio Tarver.
He gave me the strategy. They like, buddy, listen, I don't care how fast the man is. He can't punch and block punches at the same time. And Roy throws wide shots because of his speed. He gets
Right,
away with
he
it.
can get away
So
with it.
they said just come right down the middle. But while I got the floor, I want to say one thing about this gentleman here. What really,
Please.
really impressed me with him was in the first fight with Ray, how he went from going at Ray, then boxing the shit out of him. I was like,
Incredible.
All boxing.
I was like,
Out
damn.
jabbed him.
It's called beautiful boxing.
I was like, my God. I was shocked. I was like, holy shit. He's out boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, damn, man. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I thought he was just going to go right out there. He went out first, got the respect, and after that, he just,
And Leonard, who was an all-time great fighter, looked like he didn't know what to do.
nah.
Like out of ideas. Like, we
He made
followed
a
it, and
perfect
like, what am I
adjustment.
going to do? Right.
Second fight, you got screwed, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, really screwed.
He know what happened. I told him, they cheated me. He said, oh, they got, they cheated me. You right. You might
I thought he won the second one.
I did too.
admit to me right now that they cheated. Oh man, you won one. That's beside the point, man. If you can't admit to it, then you're not being a man about it.
That's what really impressed me, how he was able. Now, how many fighters today can make that adjustment?
None.
Listen, I think there are some complete fighters out there today.
But
No.
the sad part is we don't get to see them.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We don't get to see them. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I mean, I commentated his fight when he first turned pro.
Zab?
No,
James.
James.
James Toney.
Yeah, man. I'm in Detroit. I was in Detroit, and then I saw Zab as an amateur right after I fought Purnell the second time when he beat the shit out of me.
You dropped him in that fight, though.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have done that. I pissed him off. so then I'm watching the fight. And I'm watching Zab now. I'm getting flashbacks because Zab was boxing the shit out of the guy. I was flinching in the audience. I was like, oh shit. But it's just funny that you see these guys coming up, and then bam, you see them on this card that when Tarver beat Montel, he beat the guy for the cruiserweight title.
Joe.
Oh,
Girov.
Girov. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Vasily Girov.
Yeah.
Olympic gold medalist.
And he was pretty much written off. James was pretty much written off
I
after,
remember.
those bullshit losses. They were like, oh, James Toney this, James Toney that. He came back that night and showed the world what he was all about.
You never
Yeah.
count a man out.
I think what people misunderstand about James has a great ability to box. He boxes very well when he wants to. When he set his mind to it, he get out there and put on a great show because he can box. He really can box. And a lot of people have not seen James really do that. But I've been around. I watched James box him train gym. I know what James can do.
As a fan of all four of you guys and somebody who admires you all four very much, in your opinion, what fight are you most proud of? What performance are you most proud of? Zab?
For me, I would say all of them. I don't like to single out no specific performance because all of them had their own special place in my heart. You know what I mean? Like I had to bust my ass for all of them. I had to work. Everyone was a different type of mission that I had to go on to mentally, physically to get to where I had to get to achieve whatever I achieved. So So I wouldn't say.
What about you, James?
I'm gonna say Holyfield because everybody ripped me off once again. I'm always the underdog, and I felt great. I knew that I was the man, and went into keep my business. I'm most proud of a fight like that.
Shared the ring with an all-time great heavyweight.
But you know, a lot of told everybody before the fight it was gonna be easy, and it was.
Yeah, well, you put the work in for that one. I remember that was that wild card. What about you, Mr. Hearns?
I must say probably my West one probably Ray Leonard.
The first or second bout?
Both.
Both. But the rematch had to be very important to you because I know you were written off going into that rematch.
The rematch was the second fight, and I was definitely up and ready for that fight. I showed Ray something that he was not expecting to see. I went there and really outboxed Ray at that time, and Ray was surprised to see that.
What was it like to drop Sugar Ray Leonard twice?
It was cool, but you know, it didn't have that special effect to me that it should have knocking Ray down because I felt like Ray is no bigger than I am. I mean he got a good name. I have a good name. So if I drop him, Tommy Hearns drop Ray Leonard, and Ray dropped Tommy, it's a real major thing that people when Ray dropped me. But if I drop Ray, he just dropped Ray. It wasn't not a big thing. But let Ray drop Tommy Hearns. Ray, he knocked Tommy Hearns down. Is he gonna get up? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get up. Don't go right, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna whoop his butt too. And Ray knew that I had a plan in my mind that I'm gonna whoop your butt, boy. You know I'm gonna whoop your butt. So get ready to take the whooping. That's why I always have thought.
So both Ray Leonard fights. And that, which is interesting because there's not an official victory with either. You know, there's a loss and you had to settle for a controversial draw.
Mm-hmm.
But I can understand you being proud of those fights because they were amazing. What about you, buddy?
I'm like Zab, man. Every fight.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not going to say Simon Brown? Because I thought that's
Nah,
like
know,
the perfect clinic.
Yeah, it was, but
Like that's a definition of a boxing clinic.
right. But,
Somebody asked me, go check that fight out.
thank you. But Zab hit it on the head because each fight you're preparing differently. You're going through different things. But there's one fight that I wanted, and the guy was scared to sign the contract. And when I went to Detroit, Tommy gave me the wrong address. I was gonna fight James, but Tommy gave me the wrong address. So cause I was going looking for James's ass. But I'm glad Tommy gave me the wrong address.
It sure was. It been a long night.
Yeah, Jay, I didn't think he wanted to really come to your house anyway, Jay.
See, Tommy sent me someplace else, a vacant lot. There was nobody there. So I ripped up the contract and left.
All right, guys. Is there any parting words that you guys would like to say? You know, we've been talking about your generation. We've been talking about today's generation. I don't want to sound negative. I get it. You know, the older I get, more folks say, "Well, you're just getting old. You're getting old and bitter."
You
or
get
whatever.
wiser. You get wiser.
Well,
when
that's
you get older.
that's what I tell them. But they say, "Nah, come on. It's not that bad now." So I would like to sort of end on a positive note. But I would like to know who's out there right now that you guys admire, that you feel can fight and could have fought in any era, could have fought in your era.
I'm gonna say Terrence Crawford. Bud.
I like Bud
I
Crawford.
agree too.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus his nickname is Bud, like mine. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bud.
Yeah.
Headbutt.
Bud,
If I had
B-U-D.
somebody, I'd have got banned from boxing.
No, you couldn't deny it. You couldn't.
What is it about Terrence Crawford that you guys admire?
Hey,
I guess it's more than just one thing.
Yeah,
He's a brilliant boxer. He
he's
boxes well.
a complete fighter. Box, any punch, slug.
He makes adjustments well.
Yes, he get
Yeah,
dirty.
he adjusts well.
Very well and fast.
He's he lures the guys to sleep.
Right.
He got you looking over here for a little while, and then
Yeah.
or he got you looking over here.
And the most important,
And bam.
the most
His
important
approach,
thing,
yeah.
He angles you up real good.
I call it
Sets
marinate.
him up,
He
sets him
marinates
up.
them a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
I kind of sometimes it reminds me of Whitaker in that Whitaker could be in with somebody who may not be well known or may not be considered one of the elite fighters or boxers, but sometimes he would give up some of those early rounds.
I
Right?
think Pernell,
Remember that,
I
right?
think Pernell,
But
I
he's
think Pernell-
taking the measure and figuring them
I thought
out.
he fought to the level of his competition.
Right.
Yeah, I would never say he gave up the rounds.
No.
No, he didn't give
I
up.
think he
Right.
fought to the
rounds,
level
no.
of his competition.
But it seems like there was always this early adjustment, and maybe somebody could have a little bit of success with them, but after the second half, it's all Pernell
Those are-
Whitaker.
those-
Why you didn't tell me that before my second fight? Why you telling me this shit now?
I wasn't in the game. I was watching on HBO, man. But what about his attitude?
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford, you
That's
like
what I
that?
like. That's what I like
It
about him.
seemed,
I
yeah.
like his attitude and the way he approaches the situations. You know what I'm saying? Like you watch him, he's very confident,
Very
but he's
calm.
like a calm confident. He's not like a loud
a calm
confident.
assassin.
He's not like he don't come across as He just like
Okay. Wow.
And he's one of
Alright.
these dudes.
I know what it is.
He wasn't like an international level amateur. He wasn't in the world amateur championships or an
I think
Olympian or
Earl
anything
Spence-
like that.
Earl-
But he learned his craft, didn't he?
Earl Spence had a better amateur career.
Oh, of
than-
course.
than
Errol
he-
Spence
than-
was
than he did.
2012 U.S. Olympian
Yeah.
and extensive. But if they fought, I would pick Terrence Crawford.
Oh, easy by far.
I don't know about easy,
Easy.
but I would go with Bud.
Easy.
Yeah, I think
Think
Crawford
so?
is the
No.
more
I think it'd be
complete,
easy.
versatile.
I like Spence too. Spence is nice.
Yes.
He's a technician too.
Yes,
you know
he
what I'm
is.
saying? And
All
one thing
I'm
I would say,
saying-
but from the amateurs to the professionals, he's been walking guys down. He always been a big guy, walking guys down and stopping guys.
He won't do it to Bud though.
No, I'm not saying he can do it to Bud. I like Bud. Bud is my
He
man.
will get slept.
Alright. I'm a fan of that fight. I'm a fan.
Is there
He's
anybody
my
out?
favorite.
Anybody else? Are we leaving anybody out?
I got to, of course, Crawford, Canelo, and I got to go with Pacquiao, man. He's still,
Oh yeah.
Still around, ain't he?
he's still around, man.
That's your boy, James.
These young boys are sleeping on him, man, and he's schooling them, man.
Yeah,
So,
40, 41 years old.
yeah.
I like Pacquiao.
A senator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kicking ass and not getting locked up for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's done well. He's a great fighter.
Definitely.
Is there anybody that's fighting now? I mean, apart from Manny Pacquiao, that you could say, well, they deserve to be, considered a great fighter?
Devin Haney. Keep watching him.
You think so? So
Watch what I
you're
say.
you're
He's a
predicting
total
big
package.
things with him.
He's a total package. I've been
Yeah.
saying this before he even turned professional.
Because
know?
you were aware of him. You saw him as an
I
amateur.
was- well, he's my godson.
gyms. Okay,
He's my
so-
godson. I've been around him from day one. I'm not just saying that because he's my godchild. Watch what I tell you. He's
There's
he's
a little favoritism there, right?
no, it's no favoritism. Watch,
A
the
little
boy
bit,
can fight.
a little bit.
He can fight though. He can fight though, champ.
He's
fight.
kind of
He's showing
over.
it.
He's sort of in the shadow of Tank Davis and
I
Ryan
wouldn't say
Garcia
shadow. I
and
wouldn't say
Teofimo Lopez.
He's champion of the world. You can't say shadow. You
Right.
can't say that. He's
No,
a
but I'm
champion.
saying people
He's a champion.
people
He
talk
got his
about
own-
them more than
But he
him.
got his own. But as a champions, we look at the champion like this. Whatever the organizations are, that's their own lane. They in their own lane, and they looking down at the rest of the guys. He got his own lane.
So if there
WBC
was, and sadly I don't think we're ever going to get it. If there was a situation where these four lightweights, Teofimo Lopez, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, and Haney all fought each other, you would say Haney maybe doesn't come out unscathed, but wins more than he
would be
loses.
if that happened, that would be phenomenal for boxing and
Yes.
boxing. Period. You know what I mean? I mean, like
It's not gonna happen.
that's a toss up. That's not gonna happen. So we can't even say who the winner would be. But I'm just saying, we talking about ability, hard work, and dedication. Somebody that I seen and watched from day one to now. He's one of those. I'm like I put the house on him.
What about the heavyweights? That's the glamour division. Do we get Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, you might get the first one, but the second one ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, but
You
to
guys,
me,
are you into that fight?
yeah, but
And
to
who
me
do you
that
like?
no. See, to me the heavyweight division is it's like you put all the names in the thing and throw it up in
Toss
the air
up.
and you leave it back there. Some gonna fall off, some gonna fall in. You know what I mean? That's who the champ gonna be. Like I
There's
don't
nobody.
see,
There's nobody who's
Nah,
really dominant
nah, I
on
don't
any
see-
given night.
There's no solid guy there now.
No, ain't no heavyweight solid.
There's no solid guy.
No, ain't
I
no.
like Joshua, I like Wilder, but there's nobody that's
Right.
like any given day it could be a new champ, right? That's how you feel. Any given day it could be a new champ.
any given Saturday. That's why I get slept.
And the other glamour division is the welterweight division. We talked about Spence. We talked about Crawford. And unfortunately, there was an interview just this past Saturday after the Virgil Ortiz Jr. fight where Crawford's kind of like, you know, the Spence fight, that's behind me. That's I'm not even thinking
Stay
about
active.
that.
Stay active. Don't wait around for one fight.
I think he's right. You
Yeah, he's
gotta
right. Don't stick for
you
one
stay
fight.
active.
Keep working.
Be prepared. Be prepared.
Yeah,
Your turn is coming. You stay prepared, you'll be all right.
That's right.
Stay ready.
Is there still some life in the welterweight division?
Oh,
If Spence
100%.
and Crawford don't fight,
Yes.
who are
look
we
at
paying
the-
attention to?
Look at the
Teofimo.
guys. You still got Teofimo. You got Broner going up. Guys
Okay.
is still there. Guys is probably not. Broner's not going yet. He's still there. He's still there. I like AB. You know what I'm saying? The dedication that he came back
He
and
has to
did.
get-
He
he
had a
has to get-
long layoff. He
He
came
need
back with
more
dedication
dedication.
and showed
We'll see.
that boom. But that doesn't start with one fight. You got to show that over a period of time. It's
Right.
gonna come.
You gotta be
Each
consistent.
fight, he's gonna be better.
And maybe somebody at a lighter weight moves into
No,
welterweight
no,
like
you
you
don't-
did and
nope.
like Buddy did.
I think he should
Yeah.
stay with the same level of guys he's doing. Don't go for them lighter guys or whatever. Just stay in your weight class and fight the guys. But the name of the game is consistency. Gotta be consistent. Yeah, consistency.
It means something.
Yeah, it means something.
Well,
Gotta
this
be
means
consistent.
something to me. Seriously, this is like a dream come true. I'm thinking about Champions Forever when, was it Reggie Jackson was interviewing Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and George Foreman and Larry Holmes. I get to be Reggie Jackson. Now it's been an honor and a privilege listening to you guys, learning things I'd never heard before. And I really hope that the people who get a chance to watch this appreciate it as much as I do. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Fish.
I'm Doug Fisher on behalf of James Toney, Zab Judah, Buddy Mcgirt, and the great Thomas the Hitman Hearns. This has been Blue Moon Boxing, the Icons. Thank you for joining us.